She was told that she couldn't play with the boys. She was told that they were too big, too rough, too strong. She was told to give up her dreams and move on. She was told to just be pretty, be quiet, be a lady. She was told that women had to stay on their side of the court, stay in your lane. Playing and competing with men was insane. She was told that men and women would never be equal. Dreaming like that would only be leaked to your mind, to your soul. She never listened. She knew that their thinking was old. She was magic. She is the definition of spirit. She is what champions are made of. She is now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Good. Listen, my name is Stacey Robbins. I'm a financial educator with the WealthWave Company here in New York. And welcome to our event. We are excited and delighted by your presence here today. So much so that I want you to give yourself a hand clap just for being here and doing something positive for yourself. Thank you. The WealthWave Company is a financial education and marketing organization. Our crusade is to eradicate financial illiteracy in this country. We go from state to state, community to community, person to person, teaching people how money works. And you want to know why? Because our country isn't doing it for us. So we have taken up that challenge, we have taken up that charge, and your presence here lets us know that it is appreciated. So thank you again for coming. I want to let you know that in addition to teaching financial literacy, we have leaders in the field doing their thing. You know, we aren't behind desk trying to call someone to invite them to events. We're about going to the streets and bringing that knowledge there as well. So that's why you're here today, and we are delighted by your presence. I want to tell you that you are about to get some knowledge that possibly could change your life. We believe it will change the trajectory of your financial future. And I don't think that there's anyone better to take on that charge than Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. Dr. Woodhouse is a celebrated financial professional, entrepreneur, financial educator. I could go on and on, okay? Because she is ranked in the top 1% of fully licensed insurance and investment brokers in this country. Did you hear what I said? Top 1%. That's right, we can give her a hand. Right. And on her show, Access Wealth Nation, a production of Soul City Network, she illuminates audiences across the globe, okay, with her financial savvy, expertise, insight. The woman's bad. I just want to say that, okay? So with that said, I want to invite you to invite her to the floor. Yana? Now, I would be remiss though. Come. This woman standing next to me not only has a national presence, she has a global presence, okay? In 2021, she was recognized by the World Conference of Mayors to be the one and only recipient of the Wall Street Pioneer Award. And if that wasn't enough, the African Awards Leadership Committee recognized her as the best female manager of a financial firm. That's who's in front of you today. So bring out your pencils, bring out your notepads, whatever you got, because you're going to hear some good stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Stacey.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? We have the little technical here, a little technical there. Bottom line is information is power and action is king. Well, in my world, queen. But we have a serious situation. Why this particular presentation is about the wealth crisis. I don't think people understand how bad a situation we're in this day and age. We got hit by COVID, but before COVID, there was a whole lot of stuff going on. And one of the things is that we just don't know how money works. Now, before I forget, those of you who don't have the How Money Works book, please, before you leave, make sure you see me so you can get the book. Because this is one of those things, in addition to, since we had Black History Month, I thought I'd give out the calendars. I want y'all to feel like you understand. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming out. I appreciate you for listening. And more so, I'll appreciate you even more when you take action from what you hear tonight. It's so important. Why are we in a crisis? It starts off, we spend too much, we save nothing, okay? We got bills up the wazoo. Unfortunately, we're in a situation of where, well, a few years ago, our teenagers were under attack because as soon as they graduated from high school, someone was standing there with a credit card application, except for they didn't tell them that they had to pay the money back. Okay, so these are the things that cause our crises, and we have to take control. You know, they can put everything in front of us, but the key is until we act, it doesn't mean a hill of beans, okay? So what does control really look like to you? Anybody want to tell me what they think really having financial control means? What does financial freedom mean? I got my amen corner over there. Say what?
Not having to get up in the morning or for anyone else,
Oh,
and being able to control the time of my day.
oh, I hear you. Amen to that. Anybody else want to share with what they feel like really control is? What's your control? You know, we don't have a lot of control over our lives. Huh? Say that. There you go. How you utilize it. Because again, we know, but then, you know, there's certain things, you know, they disrespect us. We have issues going on in our communities. We try to get them to acknowledge it. Nobody does. And then when they don't, we just roll over, you know, and say, it'll happen sometime. Somebody will do it. No, the somebody is in the mirror. So, the financial service industry and why I'm so passionate about it is the fact that it is the largest industry in this world. It is bigger than the real estate and retail industries combined times two. That's 158 trillion with a T. The problem is that we don't understand how money works, and no one has really taken the time to tell us how it works. Our schools don't teach it, you know. Our families, well, you can't teach something that you don't know, you know, so they tell us what as much as they can, but it's not enough. And just to let you know how I got involved in the financial service industry. Well, as I know, I was speaking somewhere and I said my mother really wanted me to be a lawyer because she really should have been a lawyer, but due to times and eras, it wasn't in her place. But I thought I was going to be a lawyer also. And then I had a high school teacher who owned an office in Brooklyn. And he had a little trouble. What was the trouble? He was trying to help people who were immigrants be able to get stability by doing tax returns. Well, sometimes it wasn't always the greatest way he did it, okay? And they shut him down. But then again, what I try to tell my young people is opportunity will always be there. It's up to you to see whether you're going to step through that door and take advantage of it. Well, the opportunity was there, and I worked for him for pennies. I interned for 2 years, but lo and behold, that next year, I was able to buy that business at the ripe old age of 19. Thank you. So opportunity can be there. So here I am, 19, owning a financial entity, a tax office in Brownsville. Okay. I live in the Bronx. So that took a lot of fortitude, 2 buses and a train to get there. But I did. And I had a mother who said, "You want to do it? Okay, I'll go with you because you ain't traveling no train at 6 o'clock in the morning." Okay. But it happened. But then when I saw the opportunity also, it was during the early 80s, and I knew that interest rates were high. We had 14, 15%. That was pretty good, right? So was inflation, 14 or 15%. And the tax brackets, 50% was the maximum. That's enough to hurt you. Okay. So I wanted my clients to take advantage of tax freeze. I'd send them off, go talk to a broker. They'd come back. They said I didn't qualify. So at that point, I had 2 choices. Here comes opportunity again. I could just say, well, we can't do that. Or I could go find out why. So I did. It took me a while, and it's true. I went all over because there was not many people who looked like me in the Wall Street area. And the thing is that we didn't know how to do. Most of the time we were back office. Another situation, And when I got there, they thought that's what I was there for. But that was another thing. The bad girl came out, said, "No, we're not playing that. I need to find out why." Oh, I did find out. It was because the average client had to make $100,000 and have $500,000 to invest. That's not my community. So now we're ostracized, And so I became the mercenary investor because they said, "You got these little accounts." Yeah, those same little accounts today are homeowners, business owners, sending children to college, not asking for a loan. So therefore, I stand proud with them being the mercenary investor. But this is the industry. But unfortunately, no one's talking to anybody about participating in it. Why? I don't know. I guess it's just part and part of the rules. Don't tell them, then they won't. But since we've had the How Money Works Stop Being a Sucker book, has allowed us to share. And the financial service industry, not so happy with us, but it's okay. We don't care. We're changing lives. So the impact that is taken with our company is that there have been thousands of people who have, individuals and families, who have changed their life. And there's over 7 million in commissions that has been paid out just from so it's money in there. But the thing that we do is we don't do this for the money. I know a lot of times people have said to me, "Well, financial service, that means you charging a lot." And we see the commercials out there to try to deter us from being in the industry. We need more people. We really do. It is at a time now that people need to talk to people. We need to talk about money. We need to be on a mission of it. And there's no time to waste. Reason why, massive need. Millennials, nearly 6 out in 10 don't know how much or what type of insurance coverage they need. They don't even know what the word insurance really means. And don't ask them about a pension. Lord knows, they're like, "What's that mean?" Then we have Gen Xers. Those, about 65 million of them, they're at that almost pre-retirement. Can you realize they're pre-retirement? Boy, can they make you feel old, But 34% of Gen Xers have no retirement savings at all, none. So who's going to support them? Well, here comes the baby boomers. I'm a card-carrying baby boomer. 71 million baby boomers, and they're the biggest wealth transfer. 68 trillion, that's with a T, will occur over the next 25 years. The boomers hold the lion's share to this amount. They have it. But let me tell you what else is getting ready to happen. In the year 2030, ladies, I'd like to let you know that women will have control over $30 trillion. Now what? I'm praying that it won't be a situation where we see a lot of Gucci and red bottom shoes. You know, that can be the danger. So we need to definitely get on board and start paying attention to our finances. You know that the majority of households in this country are run by women. But if you don't know how money works, you can't teach children. You can't move to the next level. You're stuck. So we've got to make a difference. 70% of people in this world are financially illiterate. I remember there was a time when there were people who could not read. That's very rare now. That's down to below 1% of our country. But we need to get that number down because that's going to make the difference in communities all over. 23 out of 50 states make it mandatory for, at the high school level, for individuals to talk about finances, learn a bit about personal finance. The problem with this is, as we've seen in these schools, is that they're teaching people how to balance a checkbook. Anybody here got a checkbook again? We don't use checkbooks, okay? They talk about budgeting a little bit, not a lot. And that's what lets them go on and graduate. You think that's enough to know? They don't understand interest rates. You know, the knowledge is just unbelievable. So what does financial illiteracy cause? Poverty, debt, stress, divorce. They say 76% of marriages end in divorce because the money talk. You know I have my spiritual friends, and they say that you should be evenly, spiritually yoked. You should be financially yoked too. Okay, before you cross over that, because IRS doesn't understand any of that other than the fact that y'all now are together and I got a better chance of getting that bill paid, credit cards, all of that. And I'll say there's one other thing that I'll say to people who are in couples. If you're in a situation of a marriage or a commitment, make sure that you have more than just the rights to use a credit card. Make sure that it's being reported under your name. Because if that partner dies, you have zero credit. Zero. So to make sure that if you want to be together, it's going to be forever. We don't do prenups, all that stuff. Some people do. And when that happens, is to make sure that you are on everything. Because if one goes, you need to be able to capture. Okay. So there's 44%. I'm going to give you a little bit more depression, then we're going to get to the righteousness. Okay. 40% of Americans don't have enough cash to pay a $400 debt. That's pathetic. Okay. 43% student loans. Uh-oh. Okay, something's not. Yep, it's not plugged in. And I think they did. They took my plug-in. Y'all bear with me because it's getting ready to run out. It is. It's over here. I'm sorry about that. Y'all pulled it out. Okay. So we have the average credit card. I know no one has problems with credit cards in here, but those that do, know somebody. Okay. $9,333 is the average credit card debt. And American adults have about 33% of them don't have any retirement plan at all. You know what their retirement plan is? Social Security. Y'all ever checked out how much Social Security gonna pay? It's not a pretty sight. I had one client in my career that I saw where their Social Security, I don't know how she did it. She got the husband's money and hers, and it was up to almost $4,000 a month. I was like, whoa, but everybody else is about $1,200-$1,500. What you gonna do with that? Especially here in New York, won't pay no rent, won't pay it. So so WealthWave is really the money milestone company, and what does that really mean? There's a tactic that we have and principles that we have within the book, and it's the 7 money milestones. There are certain milestones we have to reach. So of course, we're looking to erase financial illiteracy. We do have a program, and we give classes. We have master classes that are given on a continuous basis. And we're going to get more involved in doing it. During COVID, we were online all the time. I finally figured out how that Zoom worked, you know. But the thing is that the system is important and that we utilize it. And we're always looking for individuals who want to be educators. And we teach and we mentor to do so. So when we see how money works, what we've met is that we have an engagement where we have visuals like you see, and we discover bite-sized content so that it doesn't overwhelm. You know how you can talk to a financial advisor and they start talking standard deviation and average entities and yields, and you're looking like, you know, we're going to clear some of that up. We give clarity. We do up-to-date information, and we're really honest. You know, we really want to make a difference. And many people look and they go, what you getting out of this? You know, we have that trust factor problem. I don't understand it. But anyway, so tonight we're going to teach something that I feel, along with Einstein, that this is the 8th wonder of the world. If you understand this basic, if you don't remember anything else tonight, it is the rule of 72. And so the rule of 72, I love math because I said people lie, but numbers don't. So you take the interest rate that you're getting on your investments, in your savings, and divide it into 72. And it will tell you how long it's going to take for your money to double. Sounds good, right? Here goes the problem. Banks love to give you 1%. You got 2%? No, 1%, I know. 1%. So that means if you divide that 1% into 72, guess what happens? In 72 years, your money will double. So if you put $1 in the bank today, in 72 years, it'll be $2. You're not happy with that. So the question comes into play, well, where do I get higher interest rate? That's why you sit with a financial educator, and they will show you the way to more financial freedom. But if we look at 6%, it doubles every 12 years. And then if we see 12, it's doubled every 6 years. Now that starts to feel a little bit better. Okay. Well, some people say, well, is it real? Yes, because the S&P 500, the Standard & Poor's 500, has an average since its existence of 9%. But the question is, were you in it? If you're not in it, you can't win it. Okay. So this is one of our characters, Zoe, in the book. Zoe's 19 years old. Little girl inherited $10,000. Wasn't that precious? Someone left her some money. That's called legacy, that we all should keep in mind. That, okay, it may not be always me who I'm going to benefit from, but if I leave something to the next generation, but when you leave it, you got to educate them. You know, yes, because what happened is my first year in the industry, I thought I had everything taken care of. And I thought I had a client that wanted to have $1 million life insurance policy because he wanted to take care of his son in case something happened to him. 2 years later, he got cancer, massive, stage 4. And he left us. And so his son did not immediately inherit the money because he had a financial advisor. So the idea was that a minor As a note, no minor should be as the beneficiary on anything you have. Because if so, guess who gets to determine? The courts do. They determine where that money goes. And usually it's in one of their pals' banks, which we just saw, with what could happen in the bank. So what happened is that after he got to be 18, he realized, I don't have to go to Miss Woodhouse. I can go straight to the policy. I can go straight to the investment. Within 3 years, the money was gone. It was $1 million policy, And not too long ago, when I came to this building, I saw his aunt who was taking care of his assets, and we both were fed up with him. But years had passed, and what happened is I said, "Where is he today?" Well, he's on the cot in her basement. Okay, because she says, I refuse to let him stay inside the house because he needs a lesson taught. I was like, wow, this is some rough stuff. Because you had $1 million. You know how people walk around saying, I wish if I had $1 million. He had it, but he gave it away because he didn't know any better, So here's the example where Zoe is talking and she wants to turn it into $1 million, that 10,000. Well, how's she going to do it? But at 12%, if you see here, she gets about 8 doubles. And it's worth $2.5 million. That's just letting it stay. Making it work for her. Making your money work for you instead of you working for the money. So this is something I hope y'all can see is the longer you wait, the more you must save. So if you're in your 20s right now, and you want $1 million, by the time you're 67 years old, some people will say, well, that'll never happen. Ha. If you put away $113 a month, it's all every month at 9% S&P 500, okay, you will have the $1 million, okay? Now, by the time you're 67, it might be worth a little bit less and be able to buy. Inflation might hit you a little. But you think about it now, if somebody had saved and you had $1 million right now, how would you feel? Feel good? But if you wait, and when we really wake up, we wake up around age 50, you would have to save $2,088 a month. Now that is really kind of difficult, but people are doing it. I tell married couples or people who are in a relationship and they're building together, one save and one pay the bills. So with 2 salaries, you can do that, okay? But the issue comes into play that you better have a good contract. I know love is pure, but it gets strange when them dollars come. Remember, money is currency. It's energy. It do stuff. Watch what happens when a funeral comes around. People show up and show out. So age 60, you would have to put away $8,589. That means you got to work. Better yet, you need to have a business, because that's what's going to make the difference. That kind of money is made by people who work for themselves. So what do we teach? The reality is to understand what it takes to, and what stakes are held when you learn how money works. Concepts are taught and strategies. We're going to talk about this. These are the 7 money milestones. Now, the first one, you're sort of sitting in it. It's called financial education. So just to learn, but to read the book, to embody it, and to start to work with a financial advisor. Now, there's some criteria to work with who the financial advisor that you're working for. The preference should be that the person has a portfolio that they can show you or a way to work with you. If the first thing that they ask you is how much money you got, what they should be asking first is, what's your goals? What's your dreams? What's happening between 1 and 3 years? What's happening between 3 and 5? What's happening with 7? What's happening to you? It's almost like when you go to the doctor. You got to find out what's going on before you make the diagnosis. But that's one thing. The other thing is that you probably want a financial advisor who is a fiduciary. That means that they have a legal mandate that they must take your desires and your needs first. You are the most important, so those are the important things. Second is proper protection. The difference between term insurance and permanent insurance. We don't usually get to hear both sides. Most of the time, okay, this is my time to get on my platform. With the wonderful insurance companies that show on TV, read the fine line under. When the guy says, "Oh, you only got to pay $9.99." $9.90. Well, you stop. We pay for all these little extra additives on our TV. Don't try to play me. I know it. And so it's called pause and walk up to it and read it. What it says is that's for $1,000 worth of coverage. What you gonna do with 1,000? You can't even put anybody away for 1,000 these days, okay? Yeah, that old Jonathan, would I love to get a hold of him for 5 minutes. Then we have the protection against the loss of our savings and the different types of things that we can do to protect ourselves. It's interesting. I remember Anthony Anderson for there's Life Insurance Awareness Month in September. So that's when you hear everybody talking about life insurance. And Anthony Anderson said, it's amazing that we will insure the flat screen TV, but not the people that are watching it. We do our phones, right? We do our cars because they make us. We do our homes because they make us. And then we got the nerve to think that the premium mortgage insurance is for us. It's for the bank, just in case you croak. Okay? That's what it's for. So these are the things that we've got to be aware. If we knew better, we'll do better. Okay. Number 3 is the emergency fund. And inside your packets is a little gift that was on the internet. And I thought if I printed it out, Joel might follow it. And it's called Saving $1 for Every Week in the Year. Now, some people would look and say, that ain't a lot at the end. It's like $1,300 plus. But the thing is, it's more money than what you did save. And if you do that 10 times, you're going to have about $13,000. It might be a little bit you can make it fun. There's another thing that's fun out here. It's called Hoard Your Fives. I was doing a presentation in front of Delta Sigma Theta's group, and someone came up because I gave them the $1 a week, and she said, check out Hoard Your Fives. So I said, what's Hoard Your Fives? Y'all know how we become the magicians when we got a $20 bill and it goes poof. But if you got that little dollar, $5, then you put it away, save it, keep doing it. Matter of fact, get your children involved. You know why? They're the best ones to go in your wallet. You know that. And then go looking. You got a $5, So those are the things that we can do to make it. Why? Because the first thing, if we don't have an emergency fund, which is 3 to 6 months worth of our income, our take-home income, my belief shouldn't be 3 to 6 months. It should be a year. And evidence in it was during COVID. My clients, they finally thanked me for pushing to a year because they had money to work with, but it's to really take care of unexpected expenses. And when that occurs, use it, but also replace it. Okay. The fourth one is debt. Again, I know nobody want to hear about debt, but we're going to talk about debt. Okay. And that is changing the way that we spend, our spending habits. When we want something, we want it now. Well, there's a difference between your wants and your needs. Okay. And you need to ask yourself, is this a want or is this a need? We need to eat. We want to have a $5,000 pocketbook. Okay. But we need to have a place to live, you see. And these are the things that we have to look at. That's why you want a financial advisor or an educator. The reason being is that when you see them, and some of y'all are my clients, so you'll know you have to face me when you have spent and you know you were bad. You might as well just walk in and tell the story because you know what I'm going to say. You know, was this a need or a want? And now you got to put it back. But the debt that you create, you have to be careful. And you need to know what your interest rates are on your debt. Most of y'all have all of your stuff online, so you never look at it. We need to have relationships with our money. You know, we somehow don't do that anymore, right? Which we do. We work, we get paid. Do you touch the money? No. Okay, you pay your bills. Did you touch the money? Mm-mm. You know, you go out, swipe. You never have a relationship with your money. I think that's one of the reasons why we give it away so fast. And so my solution, get your paycheck, put it in your hands, get that cash. Okay, so most relationships are made in the bedroom. So this is your time. Put that money on the bed, lay in it. Get a relationship. You won't give it away as much, hopefully. Remember, money is currency, you know. But getting out of debt is not that difficult. You can take all the interest rates that you have on, and the monies that you have in your accounts that you have debt. Your goal is definitely to spend less than 30% of your debt being used. Not of your debt, of your available credit. And don't go above it. Then you will see your credit numbers go up. A lot of people say, oh, I pay on time. That's good, you know, but you still need to keep that credit line low. And when they give you more credit, make sure that you don't decide I'm going to spend it all. Protect it, okay? Cash flow. This is very important. And many times when we look at, and I'm going to curse now, budget, when we get our budget, we look, and then what happens is that we realize we got more month than we got money. So now we have to budget, you know, and in doing so, you really should be sitting with someone because it's really an emotional situation. You know, I have folks who are in the position, you know, I'm going to take my child needs to go to a special school, you know, right now. But you need to talk to people about that, how that gets paid instead of coming out of your pocket. These are the things, but do your budget, manage your expenses, and above all, if you have a talent, which I truly believe, all of us came to this world with a talent and a purpose and a mission to fulfill. And we knew it because when we were little, we said it. I want to be a doctor and a spaceman, and I want to be the president of the United States. Okay. And we believed we could do that, right? Well, what happened to that dream, that energy? What was it that you could do or you see that you could do and make some extra money on it? You find a problem, find the solution, then get somebody to pay you for it. And that's your extra money. They even got a name for it now called the gig economy. You gigging. You can gig. So that means you can have your regular job and have a sideline. Do you know there was a woman that made $60,000 off of hugging? Hugging. She hugged. Now that's what she said she did. And I believe her. It was on 60 Minutes. And because why? We're in a world of where we're void of touching. And so she made $60,000 off of it. Things can be done. Okay. Building wealth. Avoid the impact of taxes, losses, and inflation. Taxes. Taxes are meant to be paid. I don't think that we should avoid them. We just don't have to pay it all. And getting a refund, please let me stand here and let you understand. Refunds are not good. You want to know why? That means, thank you, my amen corner. Refunds are not good because what did you do? You just gave the government too much money, and then in 12 months they give it back with no interest. There was to be someone told on me, and finally they took it off because there was Larry would get up on the table and he said he had a $10,000 refund. I wanted to slap him off that table. Why? Because that was $833 a month that he could have done something with. He could have saved it, he could have invested it, he could have paid off bills, but no, he let the government hold it, and the government made money on it. I'll tell you, they did. And then give it back. And then what we do extra, we pay extra money to get it back faster. Does this make sense? It's insanity. You know, you can get it back in 14 days, but no, you want it next day. You know, and the other thing to stay away from, in the side note, anything that talks to you about payday loans, run. They're illegal in New York, number one, but number two is that they still doing it. And so be careful. All right. Now the next is losses. You can work with a plan. And if you have a plan, then you're not planning to fail. So you need a plan that also is provided. Everyone who attends our workshops have the opportunity to have a free financial analysis, and it's always in the back of the book of what we do, and you set it up, and it's harmless. Plus, it's also very private. No one talks. I don't care who knows who. We don't talk about it to anybody else. Inflation. That is our buying power. And so we do know what that means. Why? Because all of us have experienced during COVID and a little after, there was a $7 for a dozen eggs. I was so glad that I'm vegan. It was so bad, but that's inflation. So if you didn't put away or prepare for inflation, you got hurt. Our seniors are constantly getting hurt because of that, because prices go up and they don't have enough money to pay for basics. Okay, so we need to prepare for that and know what inflation does. You know, $100 10 years ago could buy an entire shopping cart. $100 today is a little basket. And don't buy any meat. Okay. Accumulate and grow assets in the future. Think in the future. You know, we are the most short-term thinking people in the world here in the United States. We want it yesterday. I want to get rich. That's why the lotto does so well. And then, by the way, just side note, if you hit the lottery, you get two things. You can scream and call me. Okay, so I can help you, because if you collected wrong, you will be paying taxes for a long time. Because some of us hit the lottery and we say, "Ooh, I'm going to take care of my family." Yeah, you can do that, but you need to set up a trust so that you're not dealing with gift tax, because you're going to pay the gift tax because you gave it to them. They don't pay it, and they're gone. Okay. Last thing is to protect your wealth. Once you've done all of these things, protect your wealth. You need to have a will. You need to have a health proxy. You need to put together your estate plans. Even if you're not sure who gets what, put something down. Make sure beneficiaries are on all of your investments. These are necessary. Why? Because if you don't, then the courts will make the determination for you, you know. And it's very important that you also, if you have children who reach the ripe old age of 18, that's even more important. You have to get documentation from them because they are officially adults. So at that point, they have the rights and you don't. So if they're sick, you can't get medical records without their permission. You can't get their school records without their permission. So see, 18 is a good time to hit them, because then at that point you look at them and say, I'm paying the bills. So you got two choices, out or in. Which one you want to be? You're going to be out there in the street, or you're going to give me this information. it's necessary to know that. But you know, many parents don't know till the child reaches 18 and is in college and something has happened. And then you go to ask for information, and the people say, with all respect, no, I can't give you that information. Mhm. And you got to guard and grow a legacy. Make sure that the next generation. So these are our 7 money milestones. So no generation is really saving enough. We got the millennials, the average amount for retirement, $23,000. I wonder what they're going to do with that. That won't even pay a half of a year. Then you have Gen Xers who are at 66, the average is $66,000. That's nice. That's 1 year's maybe salary. So then what you going to do after? And then baby boomers is about 152,000, or maybe even more in some cases, but it's still not enough. And so you have to know what is enough. So most people think it's going to be Social Security and my 401k plan. Uh-huh. But that's one side of the plane. So therefore the other half is your personal savings. And you've got to save. Because if not, you might have a little problem when you retire, not having enough. Many people, especially my city workers, I love them, city, state workers, they say, well, I got a pension. Yeah, and you're going to get paid 50% of what you're making. Well, if you're not living on 100%, how in the world are you going to make it on 50%? I want to see that. That's a magic trick. So those things need to be addressed. How much is it that I need? What's my number? Every single one of us should know our number. How much do we need that we can live a life that we control? So this is just showing that there's a shortfall because I know I'm going to do it in time. I'm still okay. Okay. Now, the thing that I wanted to point out is we do talk about the fact that we have our savings. Usually our retirement savings are in 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, everything in God land that Uncle Sam can tax. So the question is here, if you save $10,000 at age 29 and earn 9% in interest each year, you would have about $250,000 when you reach 65. Okay, that's nice. Now, if we were farmers, would you want to pay taxes on the seed or the harvest? Seed. Why? That would be right. It's smaller amounts, right? So why in the world are we putting money away, not paying taxes on it, and then when we retire, we got to take the money out and pay taxes? You know, and if anybody you talk to thinks that at age 70 taxes stop, that means they only stop because you don't have any money. You're going to pay taxes, you know. So there's 3 ways in which you're taxed: tax now, tax later, and tax never. Your tax now are your stocks, your bonds, your savings accounts. Okay, your tax later is your 401ks, your 403bs, tax deferred annuities. All those things I'm going to pay later once I start to take, but it's going to grow tax deferred. And then there's tax never. Anybody ever heard about tax never? You know what tax never is? Those are municipal bonds. There's Roth IRAs. And then the last but not least is the living benefit of life insurance. Those are the things that build tax-free. So here's the strategy. When you're looking at your financial future, you want tax-free growth, 0 market risk. We want tax-free income. We want creditor-free, creditor-free types of income where the creditors can't get a hold of it. Long-term care and tax-free legacy. A lot of people like Dana, one of the characters in the book, says, is that really even existence? Yes, it is, but you got to see whether you qualify for it. Okay? Preserve your retirement income can be a matter of life or death. It's a difference on how you live. You know, we think that because we have a job, which I call the journey of the broke, because that's what happens. But because we have a job, we think we're secured. Well, many people learned that during COVID, nothing is secured. You know, when you work for yourself and you own your own business, and of course, you need to have it structured so that it's structured properly for tax purposes. And since they don't teach this in school, we teach that of what your business structure should be. Because, you know, like I tell folks, if I got $1 for every LLC that was out here, y'all would not be seeing me here. I would be truly a multi-billionaire because we all get LLCs, but they don't tell us how we're going to tax them. And that's my big, real attitude about it is I'm a single member. Well, then you sole proprietorship. You're going to pay self-employment tax. Matter of fact, you're going to pay self-employment tax, you're going to pay business tax. Those are the things that we have to be careful about, you know, because we can get our financial freedom. So this is a little bit about how big our market is, that the market for people between the ages of 55 and 64, it's very important at this point for then you and those people get serviced, you know. And so I'm going to stop here. I hope you learned something. You learned something? Thank you. Because of time, I wanted to let you know also we do classes, and we have your information if you just chose not to do the viewing, you know, being taped. Just make sure we have all your information so that we can always let you know when we're doing our classes. On next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday is International Women's Day, and we're doing a special also for that. To show, because we have another book that I do a session on, How Money Works for Women, Take Control or Lose It. And a lot has to do with that, what's going to happen in 2030. So also just to add, I truly know that many people are looking for an opportunity, and mentorship is necessary. And those who may be interested in learning a little bit more about the financial service industry, I'll be glad to help. You just have to reach out to me and we can sit down and talk about what the possibilities. I send you to a site first because I want you to know what you're looking at, because there's no get rich quick schemes when it comes down to the financial service industry. We're very regulated, but we need people to be able to handle and talk to folks. You know, it's not about the one industry where one set of people who are still in this industry are not educating. They're just telling you what to do. Do it because I said so. You need to know. And so it's so important for our mission to get people out. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still in this industry, because I could have definitely retired a long time ago, you know, but I saw it and I know it is that if we help enough people, we can make a difference. We can stop learning and trying to beg and get around and take losses on our businesses and, you know, not paying attention to the family needs. And there's things that we can do. So at this point now, I'd wanted to do it. Any questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
I invited a young couple, and they have a brand new baby. I was very interested in them finding out about the new benefits of insurance.
Oh, I don't have it on my video here, but it,
That's very similar to the question I had too. Do you have a class that kind of goes into it? Because I have everything else. I'm 40 years old and I have everything else set up financially. I'm running stock market, doing gold and all that. The only thing I don't have is the life insurance. And all my friends are like, oh, it's not to use. Your dad is used to use while you're alive.
mhm.
So I kind of want to learn a little bit more about
There is a living benefit to life insurance. The wealthy use life insurance as truly the investment. Why? It's the only place that you can let money grow tax deferred, take it out tax free, put it back. But it takes time. You know, it's not a get rich quick situation of where you put the money in where people are toting it all over the internet. You put the money in, you get it out the next day tax free, don't have to pay it back. Not true. You know, so Yes, we do. And there's a whole section that we do on life insurance, and probably will be doing it soon, very soon, because it's so important to know the difference between the permanent and the term insurance. Term has a purpose. It's just like rent has a purpose. Mortgage has a purpose. So does permanent insurance. Yes, and you do it tax free. So I'm thank you for bringing in when they set an appointment and we can sit and go over all the elements. But also we're constantly doing classes. And as long as we have your information and until you tell us stop, we will let you know what's going on. So now I'd like to bring up one of my associates, Mr. Daniel Brown, and he will close out. Ooh, and I need to sit.
All right. How was that? Great. Was she amazing? Did you learn something? Okay, great. So the first thing I want to bring up, everybody has a little packet in there. There's a form in the back. It's an evaluation form. I want you to take them out, please. Take them out. I want you to fill it out because then we'll get the feedback on what you thought of her presentation. There's a lot of some good questions. And if there's something you want to write in the side, some comments you want to put in there, feel free. Second thing is, I do hugs for $20, so I'm cheaper than okay. Just want to throw that out there. $20. Okay, so I just want to recap, talk about WealthWave and what we do as we close this out. There's really three things that we do. And the first one you just experienced today, we teach, we educate the community in general, our clients. But we always start with education because we feel that's the most important thing. And we do that, like she said, all the time. It's free of charge. It's a service we do. Sometimes we're sponsored, so we get paid for it, sometimes not. But we don't mind educating because we know in the long run that's going to help everyone. The second thing we do is we advise. So you get educated first, and if you need a professional as she recommended, we'll be that professional for you. So if you get a particular question about a particular part of your financial needs, we'll do that. If you don't know where to go, we do holistic financial planning. So we'll look at the whole picture and give you recommendations. We don't tell you what to do with your money. We get recommendations that we advise. And then the third thing we do is we mentor. Yana mentioned earlier that not only is the country in a wealth crisis, but we're in an advisor crisis. The average financial advisor is in their late 50s. They're retiring out, and it's a shortage where there was already a shortage. So one of the things we do, we mentor new advisors in the field. If you or someone maybe want a career change or whatever, we can sit down and talk to them and try to help them get into the industry. So those are three things. So the only other thing I wanted to bring up, she talked about the book. Does anybody have our How Many Works book? Okay, that's good. So that's good. Who likes reading books? This is an odd group. They say the average adult doesn't read anymore. What are you doing? So what we did, we have the book. It's an easy to read book if you haven't read it already. Some people have the book and haven't read it. That's another shame on you. But if you have it, it's a quick, they say it's an hour and a half read. Yes, Norris, we're talking to you. But a lot of folks don't like reading the book, even though the one we have is very user-friendly, reader-friendly. It's illustrated, it's nice, easy read, takes about an hour and a half. But then we came out with another book, Change Your Literacy, Change Your Life. It's an ebook, so you don't have to worry about us getting it to you somehow. And we made it in 3 versions. We made the full versions for people who like to read and get all the information. But most people we know don't like to read the whole book. So we got an abbreviated version. It's only about 15, 20 pages, something like that?
It's 20 pages, the second version.
20 pages, second version. So you get just the meat without the potatoes. And then we got the 4-page version, the super cliff notes, if that's all you want to read. So we got it in 3, whatever size fits you, small, medium, or large. We got the size that fits you. But the main thing is we're trying to get the information out to folks like yourselves, the people you care about, your loved ones, your colleagues, your family. So if you want the ebook, let us know, let the person know who invited you, and we'll give you a link to it, and you can share it to whoever you like. So with that, everybody filled out their evaluations? Are they all filled out? Very important.
You can get it to
Let's get the evaluation filled out. Yes, yes. Yes. She's gonna come and get it. I think that's the last thing I wanted to bring up. I had one more joke. You want to hear my last joke? Okay. I won't tell you, but you know. Okay. So I was walking down the street. Not just kidding. Now I was thinking when she was talking about get emotional with your money. So you know that was in a movie, right? Anybody remember that from a movie? It was in a movie. John Witherspoon would say he goes goes to the bank, takes all the money out in ones, and goes home, throws it in the bank, and gets and lays around it. This is actually. So yeah. So I thought that was funny when you said it. But that's it. So we do have some refreshments. We have some a variety of Italian pizza outside. So yeah, so we got some pizza out there, some refreshments, some light refreshments. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Grab a slice, keep going. If not, we'll be around to talk, answer any questions you may have. And with that, yes.
I want to say, I've known Yana for a number of years, and one of the things that I love about her, I teach, and she comes and she gives seminars to my classes. She doesn't charge anything. She's sincere about what she does. And the way that I met her was somebody that called themselves working for her gave me some nonsense information, and I called her to complain.
What?
We've been like this ever since.
Wow.
Ever since. And I just want you to know that she cares enough about us that, you know, she was talking about the disposable cash, how if you have that $500,000, she left that out. I was waiting for her to tell you that she cares so much that she found a vehicle, a way for people who don't have a lot of money to be able to invest and make money. So I love her for that. I thank you.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's it, everyone. Oh, yeah, we got another thing. Another thing. Okay. Here she goes.
Everybody, I don't know if you know it or not, but Soul City Network is here. And they've been filming this entire presentation. We want to thank them for making sure and they are actually documentary. Our team in the back. Thank you.
To know how money works and what you know, because people feel very uncomfortable. And so when they see other folks, you know how it is, you know, raise your hand. Then someone raises their hand and then everybody else raises and got an opinion, you know. So, you know, if you would participate, it would help, you know, because we are out here to truly get this message out. Nice to see you. To the, which one, the Change Your Literacy, Change Your Life? I'll get it for you because I did not memorize it. But yeah, I can, matter of fact, what you do is, oh, you gave in your, no, it's not we didn't get there yet. It's an email, but we do have it. I'll get it for you because I got to figure out either that or I can email it to you. I can send it to you. Huh? Is it on there? Oh, that's an easy one then. My website is it under Wealth Wave or the How Money Works website? HowMoneyWorks.com /Yana, that's JANAB. That's it. Yeah, but it's HowMoneyWorks.com. We have an entire site that is dedicated to teaching how money works. So if you, okay.
All my classes are big now except one. They're all over 25 people.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. It's time. Soon as tax season's over, I'm going to come pay you a visit. Yes. What am I supposed to say to close out? Oh, okay. I'm tired. Okay, so we've had this wonderful experience knowing about how money works. Yes, ma'am. So this is also being broadcast on my show, Access Wealth Nation, which is broadcast through the Soul City Network. It also, some of the shows are archived on Facebook and on YouTube. And so I hope you learned a lot today, and you definitely have the opportunity to get your checkup from the neck up. As Dr. Yana has always said, that if you know better, you'll do better. And thank you so much for coming.
She was told that she couldn't play with the boys. She was told that they were too big, too rough, too strong. She was told to give up her dreams and move on. She was told to just be pretty, be quiet, be a lady. She was told that women had to stay on their side of the court, stay in your lane. Playing and competing with men was insane. She was told that men and women would never be equal. Dreaming like that would only be linked to your mind, to your soul. She never listened. She knew that their thinking was old. She is magic. She is the definition of spirit. She is what champions are made of. She is